Hi. So the Texas Shuffle comping again, this time more summarized then. So on E we were doing this, we're going etc. So that's going E and 1 and 2 to G, and G there I did a full G, but you can just do the bass notes, just fret the bass notes and just then make sure with your pick that you're strumming the bottom four or thickest four strings. So I'm going E to G to E to A7, and on every upstroke it's open strings, and on every downstroke it's the chord. So that's E, G, E, A7, A7. And when I go to A7, rather than strum the thickest strings, the bottom strings, I go to the top strings so that I can get that flat 7 on the top E string, going back to an open top E string. So that's on the 1 chord, yeah, and of course the timing is and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then we go to the 4 chord, the A, and so we're going to start and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and so what was I doing there? Simple A chord as fretting it as a bar. Again on the upstrokes, on the ands, and 1, and 2. Well, actually, on the first upstroke I'm doing open strings and 1, and 2, and then I'm just keeping the finger on the barred. So I'm just keeping the A chord. So and 1, and 2. On beat 2, I'm making it an A7, and 1, and 2, and that and is an open top E string, so it's just an A again. So and 1, and 2, and 3. On beat 3, rather than the third finger being on the 3rd fret of the top E string, the 3rd finger is on the 3rd fret of the B string, making briefly an A sus4 chord. So we got and 1, and 2, and 3, and the and of 3 is just the top E open string again, so you're making an A chord again, just a simple A rather than the A sus. So and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and beat 4 I'm just strumming down and up on a simple A chord. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and you're spending 2 bars in the A, and on that last bar, on the very last beat, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So I'm getting, I'm coming back down to the E chord by getting that 3rd fret of the low E string, yeah, which is the G, the note G, the flat 3rd, the flat 3rd of G, but also, yeah, the flat 3rd of the pentatonic, the E minor pentatonic that you can play over these 3 chords, the E, the A, and the B7. Which is what I'm doing here. Those are notes, all notes from the E minor pentatonic, yeah? Position 1, open. 0, 3, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 3. Oh yeah, and to go up to the A, so going up to the A, you might want to, because I was just coming back down from the A and using that G, and going up to the A, sometimes you might want to go to that 4th fret and get the G major, just for a G major, sorry, the G sharp, which is the major 3rd. Or you could just go up to the A 1, 2 and 3 and 4 by just hitting that third fret, the G flat 3, and bending it up. It's up to you, whatever you like the sound of. They both work. So that coming down, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm just doing an upstroke on the A barred and a downstroke, and I'm just really hitting that single string, or I'm only sanding out that single string. I might be hitting other strings, but I'm muting the A string with the underside of my second finger, and the D, G and B strings can be muted by the first finger just resting on them. And then you go back to the 1 chord. And then going up to the 5 chord, so and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now that was, yeah, I'm using a pick, and I know you're not using a pick. I mean, if you're not using a pick, obviously if you're using a pick, you go from strumming full chords, or half the strings, and then you just aim for that A string, up, down, up, because you're getting to that A string on an upbeat, or at least I am. Of course there's loads of variation to this, but the way I'm doing it at the moment, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I'm getting to that 5 called the B7. So with a pick it's easier to go from bigger strums to smaller, picking a single, smaller movements, picking a single string. With your fingers it's a bit more messy, but you can see I'm muting that E string with my thumb over the top. If you can't do that, well, yeah, you just have to let it ring out, because you want to get that open A string. But as soon as you get the A string first fret, because you're doing A string open, 0, fret 0, then fret 1, then fret 2, which takes you up to note B, which is of course the bass and root note of the B7 chord, which we're going to play. But as for strumming, just with your fingers, so I'm getting to that open A string on an up strum, so it's going to be my thumbnail, and then when I strum down, I've got a finger on the fretboard, so I can mute these strings with the underside of the first finger, and I can even mute the E string with the tip of the first finger, and just have that one string, the A string, ringing out. So it takes practice, but that's okay, so just try it slow. And at the moment, that doesn't sound great, but it's going to be going by really quickly, so it'll be okay. There, that was okay. So we got up, down, up. Yeah, so, and then I'm on the second fret of the B string, and then the next thing I'm going to do is put my other fingers in place for a B7 chord, an open B7 chord. 2, 1, 2, 0, 2. So, and then you can do any variation of strumming on that. So I've got and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Now, 1, I did and 1, let's see, sorry, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. So I started the rest of the chord on an up strum, or the full chord on an up strum, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. That could be a simple way of doing it. And what I'm doing there, I'm doing that chromatic movement from the 5 chord to the 4 chord. So I'm just moving that B7 shape down a fret. Now, as you move it down a fret, these 3 fingers are in the same fret. This is in the fret before it, so if you move it down 1 fret, this finger has to come off. So you've got 1, 0, 1. That note doesn't work because that should be a B flat at the moment and it's still a B. But so it'll cause dissonance, but that's okay because we're on a 5 chord, and a 5 chord you can have dissonance on, and mainly it's going by so quickly. Whoops. Yeah, it's going by so quickly, it's a passing chord to get to the A, that you're not going to hear it for very long, so it's okay. So we got, let's see, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Then when I got to the A chord, I just did exactly what I'd done before. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. Yeah, so that was dominant 7, the sus4, so dominant 7 to A, sus4 to A, and then just that low G by itself. And then you're back to the 1 chord. Okay, hope that helps.